Welcome to our spotlight session on mechanical engineering. My name is Daud. I'm a mechanical engineering student ambassador here at Lassonde. I am currently in my second year, or I guess just finished my second year in mechanical engineering. I'm from Waterloo, Ontario. Some of the cool opportunities I've had here at Lassonde are being a board director in Lassonde Engineering Society and a Lassonde Frosh leader, volunteer basically at orientation week. And some of the parts of our sectors I'm interested in going into after my degree are either energy or aerospace. So it's a little bit about me. Let's kind of dive into what we're going to talk about today. So during today's spotlight, we're going to talk about the program overview, highlights, co-op and extra support, some frequently asked questions, and then we're going to go into our live Q&A. If you have questions during the webinar, feel free to put them in the chat. I might not be able to see them, but I'll definitely get to them after we finish going through all the material. So let's start kind of broadly. What is mechanical engineering? So mechanical engineering is focuses on anything that has to do with machines. So this makes it a pretty broad uh, discipline, right? I think it's one of the most versatile and broad disciplines, engineering disciplines, right? And this allows mechanical engineers to work in sectors such as aerospace, automotive, biomedical, energy, and more, right? Like it just goes to show like how much um, opportunity you have to with a mechanical engineering degree. You can go to almost any sector, have so many amazing opportunities, right? So kind of some of the places you can go are some of the jobs you can hold or as an automotive engineer, HVAC engineer, manufacturing engineer, nuclear engineer, right? I picked those to kind of show like the breadth of just the opportunities that you can have. So once you have your mechanical engineering degree, the world's pretty much your oyster. So let's start with the program view overview of what the program looks like here at Lassonde. So as you already know, we have an engineering core first year that all engineers at Lassonde take before going into specializations. Right? The reason we have this is it provides a strong base for branching out into your engineering major. It is also an opportunity to explore the various disciplines before committing to a major for second year. Some of our key first year courses include engineering mechanics, computational thinking, chemistry, material science for engineers, Renaissance engineering, and applied calculus too, right? So it's really about building those fundamentals in your physics, math, coding, as well as ethics and communication. So how to upgrade and kind of customize your program here, right? Like obviously in your degree, you'll be learning about mechanical engineering. Um, so much more and learn a lot more with that. So, right, when you apply, you're admitted to the general engineering program. Once you complete your first year, you basically enter your specialization, and you can also enhance the degree with certain certificates and other program options. So let's go through a couple here. Um, so declaring a specialization, you have an engineering program guarantee, which is sent out um, before your first year. Uh, you probably have already received it and already received your a message about what program you've been guaranteed. And then we have our common first year, right? This is again building those basics in math, physics, programming. And then we also have a week called Declaration Week, which is based an opportunity for you to meet with professors and alumni and industry professionals in each department and program and learn more about what that program offers, the opportunities that they have, what the career prospects look like as well. So definitely a great opportunity, even if you already know kind of what program or specialization you want to go into. It's just also a great way to network and to learn more about what your future will look like. And then, of course, after your first year, you specialize either mechanical, electrical, civil, space, mechatronics, computer, or software engineering. And if you're here at this webinar, you're probably considering going into mechanical engineering. We also have a really cool opportunity called the International Development Studies Dual Degree. This enables future engineers to better understand complexities associated with global project management. It's a 5-year program for 2 degrees, your BEng, as well as your BA in international development. And you're taking courses in areas such as culture, diasporas, and migration, environment, gender, political economy, and governance and policy. This is a great uh, opportunity if you're interested in working internationally, right? When you're working internationally and you have these are skills that you're going to need uh, to learn about different cultures, to be able to work in different cultures in different countries. We also have our BEST certificate, which is BEST stands for British Entrepreneurs in Science and Technology. And basically, in this certificate program, you're taking additional courses from our Shug School, Business School, and our Osgood Law School, right? So if you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur or starting your own business, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of. You can also get a scholarship too if you apply for the BEST certificate, which I believe is around 2000. So, uh, talk about kind of the program overview, what it looks like, how you can make the like even more of your engineering dream. Let's talk about some of the highlights. Just some like examples of the courses that they'll be taking, and I've picked out a few that I think are some of the coolest. So we have Me Design 1 and 2. So these are basically your project courses. It's a semester long of working on a project uh, in a group. So I just finished Mini Design 1, which you take in second year. And for that, our project, we had to build basically a miniature car. We had to build everything, the suspension, transmission, the chassis, the electrical system, all of that. We were given requirements, we were given materials, and that was pretty much it. We had a lot of freedom to kind of design it however we wanted to design it. So, right, really applying what you've learned, and probably one of my favorite courses to date. We also have our engineering graphics and CAD modeling. This course focuses a lot on the different software you'll use, mainly SolidWorks, with CAD standing for computer aided design. We also have our thermodynamics course, and I know most people are like, "Oh, this is like a super hard course." Don't get me wrong, it is a hard course. I just think it's also a really fun course. And I think we have like one of the best thermodynamics profs around, so it's definitely a lot of really fun. We also have our professional engineering practice course. This is a engineering course that focuses on engineering and law. So definitely an interesting course to take. And then we have our simulation tools for design analysis, which focus a lot more on simulation software. So throughout these courses in your entire degree, some of the technical skills that you'll gain are CAD and FEA modeling. So again, CAD is computer aided design and FEA is finite element analysis. In CAD, mainly SolidWorks for mechanical engineering, you're basically building parts and assemblies to build machines or parts for your projects. And FEA is used for um, basically running simulations. So, for example, if you want to test the aerodynamics on a car, you will use an FEA software. You also get some machine shop training. So you get some actual training with some machines, mainly the mills and lathes, which is really useful in case you join a design team, which we'll talk about a little bit more. But some of the design teams, they ask you to basically, um, go machine a part. And so now you have the training, you have the certification, you can go machine shop and machine those parts. You also get some programming experience as well. So you get taught Java, MATLAB, and Arduino IDE, which you'll be using through your degree. We also have circuit building. So yes, this is more of kind of like an electrical skill, but right, there's a lot of kind of applications where we need to integrate circuits with machines. So for example, from a design course, we had to use an Arduino and different sensors to build our basically our power system and our collision avoidance system. And then we have 3D printing. A lot of your courses, especially project-based courses, will involve you having to design stuff in CAD software and then having it 3D printed. So we have a 3D printing space here at the Bergeron. So you do have access to a lot of cool facilities. All right. Some future-ready features. This is like how our mechanical engineering program stays ahead. So I think one of the coolest parts of mechanical engineering program, I would say all engineering programs here at Lassonde, is that there's a lot of labs and hands-on projects throughout your courses, right? Where you're able to apply the theory that you learn. And this starts from your first year, right? When you take your first physics course, you're going to have labs where you're basically testing out the exact concepts that you're learning in your classes, right? So, for example, for someone like me who learns a lot more by doing things, a lot more of a kinetic learner, these labs are incredibly helpful. So, um, you're not just going to start with theory, you're going to also apply it starting from your first year. Throughout your degree, you're going to take several Eng courses that will help you develop non-engineering skills such as communication, technical writing, project management, and legal knowledge, right? These are a huge help, and they help make you a more round-rounded engineer, right? And these skills like communication, technical writing, project management, they're going to give you skills that will help you move up faster in the corporate world and make you more attractive candidate when you're applying for jobs, right? When you are able to write good technical reports, when you're able to do project management, right? When you have that legal knowledge, you just become a better candidate. So it helps you become a more well-rounded engineer and increases your job prospects. In addition, Lassonde has a strong co-op program and runs a lot of networking events. Um, and a lot of clubs run networking events. So it's really easy to sort of get connected employers and start that relationship, especially early on as well. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit about our co-op program access support. I know co-op is usually one of the things that students are most interested in when it comes to an engineering program. So the way co-op works is that you start your applications for co-op in second year, usually in the winter, for placements in the summer or fall third year. Um, Co-ops can run from as short as 4 months, summer co-op, as long as I know someone who's taking a 16-month co-op. So really depends on the placement, but it can be a short co-op, can be a long co-op. Co-op is optional. It's not something that you have to do. But if you do it, then there is a minimum of 12 months that you have to do with co-op, or and the maximum of 20 months. And Lassonde runs a lot of events to help with resume and cover letter writing, interview prep, plus our co-op team can help with any questions that you have. Um, cool number here, our average salary per hour for mechanical engineers is $25.64. Of the programs, I think it's one of the higher numbers. So, you get paid well while you're still in school and to get some cool experience. These are some of our top employers. We have General Motors, the TTC, Ontario Power Generation, Canadian Nuclear Laboratories, and other Harris. So some pretty big names. So great experience to add to your resume. Yeah. Um, so here's some of the opportunities that we have beyond the classroom, right? Because especially when you're applying for jobs, right, then employers are not just looking at your grades, they're not just looking at the degree, right? Because every engineer takes their degree, right? They all have the BEng. Um, what employers look for a lot is for your experience about beyond the classroom, right? How have you actually applied your engineering knowledge? Um, so we'll talk a little bit about like how you can find these opportunities and what these opportunities are. So the first one is research. Our main way to do research at Lassonde is through LURA, the Lassonde Undergraduate Research Award. This is $10,000 to do research in the summer for 4 months under a specific professor. The research doesn't necessarily have to be mechanical engineering. It can be in space engineering, it can be biomedical engineering, but it's a great way to build that experience. You can also get published in a paper. That's always a possibility. And another cool benefit is that if you do co-op, the LURA, the research time goes towards that co-op minimum. So you can do, for example, like a 6 month co-op placement and then 4 months of research, and then you meet or say 4 months of research, and 8 months of co-op, and you meet your co-op requirement if you do co-op. We also do research at York and undergraduate student research award. These are more of the wider York research opportunities, so it's not just focused on engineering, um, but also some things to look out for. And right, we have a lot of labs at Lassonde. We have Cooper Lab, IDEA, Hybrid Biomedical Optics Lab, some of our bigger labs. So there's always opportunity for research. And if you're interested in doing research, right, make sure to get your profs, right, talk to them, learn more about what they're doing. And I know people who've gotten it as early as first year. So always a really cool opportunity. Also some extracurricular activities, right? So some of our clubs, we have our Lassonde Engineering Society, Women in Science and Engineering, and National Society of Black Engineers, York U chapter, to name a few, right? Always good experience to join a club. Great way to make friends, great way to build kind of leadership experience if you become an exec of a club, um, and to get some experience in running events and stuff like that. Next, we have our design teams. So design teams are more of our technical engineering teams, um, where you're actually working on something tangible. So we have, for example, Sol Motorsports, Arbus Rocketry, and York University Robotics Society. These are only a few of all the design teams we have, but I think I selected these ones because these are the most relevant to mechanical engineering. So Matsumoto Motorsports is our FSAE team, our formless, basically building an F1 type car and racing that against other universities. And this year, well, this month actually, they'll be going to Michigan to compete. So really good opportunity, especially if you're looking to go into automotive engineering, right? A lot of mechanical engineering companies look for FSAE experience. So I would definitely encourage you to join at some point. We also have Arbus Rocketry. This is our rocket team, basically similar to motorsports, build a rocket, compete. Great way to build experience, engineering knowledge, build meet people. Then we have our York University Robotics Society, which you can either work on the kind of the rover team, build the rover, or you can kind of do work on your own little robot. Um, but yeah, so I would definitely recommend joining the design team at some point in your degree. Really helps your resume. And then you have competitions. So some of our major competitions are York Engineering Competition and LHACs. So York Engineering Competition or YEC basically runs every fall, and there's a lot of different categories that you can kind of compete in: senior design, junior design, innovation, debate, to name a few. And if you win in a category, you go to the Ontario Engineering Competition. If you win there, you can go to the Canadian Engineering Competition. So really cool. And I would definitely recommend everyone again tries to compete. It's a lot of fun. And then LHACS is our woman run and woman um, hackathon, right? It is a hackathon, right, um, to encourage women in STEM to compete. And yeah, it's one of our biggest hackathons at Lassonde. It's a lot of fun, so I would definitely recommend trying that out. Um, and then we also have some conferences. So our conferences run across Ontario and Canada. It's a great way to meet other engineering students, to network with and learn from industry professionals, and to have fun. There's a lot of fun socials and fun activities that happen at conferences. And the best part, the majority of the ticket is subsidized by LES, and that ticket includes like travel, food, all that good stuff. So a lot of that's already taken care of and paid for by LES. Some of our more kind of notable conferences are the First Year Integration Conference, which is a conference for first years to kind of help set them up for the degree. We have our Keen Advocacy and Leader Conference on Advocacy, Leadership, and Engineering, and Keen Engineering Leadership Conference. These are focused on leadership and advocacy, right? So if you're interested in taking a leading role in your clubs at Lassonde or even beyond, you want to develop your leadership skills, great conferences to join. And then we have PEOSC, our Professional Engineers of Ontario Student Conference. This conference is mainly targeted towards upper year students to basically help connect them with employers and set them up for their career. Some of our student support and resources that we have our academic advising, which is located on the first floor of the Bergeron Center. And they can help you with any questions you have on courses, degree requirements, and more. And then another resource that I wanted to point out was the Student Counseling Health and Wellbeing. They provide short-term and walk-in counseling, both virtually and in person. And they have resources and guides on healthy living. Right, being an engineer can be stressful. It's definitely not like the easiest degree. So being able to take care of yourself and take care of your mental health and well-being is definitely important. These are only two resources of many, many resources we have at York, right? So, uh, but I wanted to select these two as the kind of the more important ones to focus on. Now we're going to move into some frequently asked questions, right? These are questions that we get a lot as ambassadors, especially ambassadors of mechanical engineering, and probably questions that you may have right now as well. So first, with the addition of a mechatronics degree recently, we get a lot of questions about what's the difference between mechanical and mechatronics engineering. So Like I said before, mechanical is anything that focuses on machines, right? That's what we focus on. Mechatronics is kind of a combination of mechanical and electrical engineering. So you're working on a lot of robotic systems and a lot of things that have to do with machines and circuits and electrical. So when you take a mechatronics engineering degree, you're taking a lot of electrical courses as well as mechanical courses. So I would kind of say that mechatronics is a little bit of more of a specialization of mechanical. You can, if you would like, get a mechatronics certificate. This basically adds a few more courses to your degree, but you get a certificate saying that you have some expertise in mechatronics. But yeah, that's a mechanical focus on machines, mechatronics focus on machines and electronics. What made you choose Lassana in this program? So for me personally, I think there's two main reasons. The first one is financial, right? Going into uni, I was kind of struggling with how to pay tuition and all that. And I got offered some scholarships based on my grades. So basically, if from 80% to 100% average for at York, if you get between that, you get a certain amount of money for scholarships. There's like different ranges, I think 80 to 84%, 85 to 89%, 90, 95, 95 to 100. You can get a different amount of different scholarships based on your grades. And for Lassonde, if you get 90% or above in your admissions average, you get $2,000. So that helped a lot. I also applied to a scholarship and got that, and applied to a few more after I started at Lassonde and got those as well. So there's a lot of financial resources both at York and at Lassonde um, that really helped me ensure that I can stay in university. In addition, I would say one of the coolest things about Lassonde is the community, right? Um, many of you may already be in Lassonde Discord server, right? You kind of see the community that's built there, right? Future students are talking to each other, not just students who are going into their degree this year, but also students who are already in Lassonde, right? It's a great way to chat, to talk to each other. Um, so you're already kind of part of a community before you start, and then at when you start, right? It's just everyone's trying to help each other, right? There's no like kind of as much competition between students. It's all about how can we all succeed, and people who are in their up years are always down to talk and um, answer questions that you have about the degree, about co-op, about your career. So I would say that's one of the another question we get a lot is how can I tell this program is the right fit for me? So a couple questions you can ask yourself are, do you like hands-on work? Um, are you versatile? Do you know exactly what you want to do? And do you like this problem solving and design process? So even if you don't check all of these, but you check most of them, I would say that mechanical engineering is right for you, right? It is hands-on, it's really versatile. It's a lot about problem solving and designing. So if you are interested in that, mechanical engineering is great for you. I'd also say mechanical engineering is really helpful because if you don't exactly know what you want to do after your engineering degree, right, mechanical engineering ensures that a lot of the doors are open for you. So for example, at the beginning of the webinar, I said that I'm interested in energy or aerospace. Two very completely two very different completely different sectors, right? Still not sure what I want to do yet, but those are what I'm looking at, and I'm able to kind of pursue both of those with this mechanical engineering degree. I would also say, right, don't let just grades get you down. Right? Grades is important, but learning is even more important. And yes, engineering is hard. You always need the best grades. But even if you don't get a great grade, don't let that get you down. Just persevere, right? Keep working, and you're gonna do great. What has been a highlight of my time at Lassonde so far? So I mentioned this before, conferences are well, conferences. I went to two conferences my first year, the first year integration conference and Canadian and CALE, the Conference on Advocacy and Leadership and Engineering. Um, right, I met a lot of really, really cool people. Some people I'm still in contact with to this day. I went to a lot of really cool sessions. I learned a lot, and I took that experience back. Um, as a member of the Lassonde Engineering Society and now an exec of the Lassonde Engineering Society. So it was just a lot of fun and a huge blast. And I something that you can kind of do to go above and beyond in your degree. So some advice or tips for someone starting the program. I would say the number one thing that I always advise students to do is talk to your professors, right? Especially go to their office hours. I think office hours are criminally underused. It's a great space for you to go and ask professors questions about the course, about concepts you don't understand, right? And right, it might be intimidating to ask a question when you're in a lecture hall of 300 students. A lot easier if it's just one-on-one. And professors are usually really open to talk and to go through concepts, right? So I had a professor in first year, I was just not understanding a concept, so I went to his office hours, and he stayed like half an hour later than his office hours to help me learn the concept, right? So professors are willing to help you. You just like have to do the office hours. In addition, if you're looking to do research, like going to office hours is a great way to get to know your professor because while grades are a huge part of getting a research position, so is knowing your professor, right? Building a connection, showing your interest in their research, and your ambition. I would say try new things. Right, I'd never been to a conference before and decided to apply and I had a lot of fun. Um, I joined different clubs, right? And I've got a lot of cool experiences, a lot of cool friendships. So definitely try new things. Break out of your comfort zone. Um, right. Don't just kind of stay in what is comfortable for you, what you like. Push out of that, right? Put yourself in situations that you feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So, for example, um, public speaking, right? Is that something that you're not great with? Try to do that. University in general is just a great opportunity to kind of develop yourself as a person, as a human being. So definitely take full advantage of that, right? Join clubs that are, they're not like engineer related, right? Like join a cooking club, join a martial arts club, right? Like there's a lot of things you can do at York and at university that I think um, it can really enrich your university experience. Make friends. I think one of the best ways to make friends is through our Frosh week, our orientation week. A lot of my friends that I have today, I major in Frosh. And even if you don't go to Frosh, like it's pretty easy to go to clubs and hang out to talk to people in your class and make friends there. Also, don't be scared to be wrong. Right? Volunteer to answer questions and yeah, you might be wrong, but then you learn. And it's better to learn now and to get that fear of being wrong and um out of the way now so that when you're in your engineering degree and the stakes are a lot higher, you're able to ask questions, you're able to point things out, you don't have the same nerves. So definitely something to work on now. Right? Don't be scared to be wrong. Don't be scared to ask questions. You're here to learn. You're not here to be right. Right? You're here to like to learn things. If you already knew it, you wouldn't be here at university, right? You would already have your engineering degree. So yeah, make sure to ask questions. Don't be scared to be wrong. And then take advantage of every opportunity to meet engineers in the field, whether that's through career fairs, student conferences, workshops, right? LES, and I think most other clubs, as well as Asan, are always running events where you can listen to alumni or industry professionals talk, where you can network with them. So take advantage of every opportunity that, even if you're not like, even in your first couple of years where you're not kind of looking at co-op or a career just yet, it's a great way to kind of learn what the requirements are in the career, or sorry, in the industry and like what uh, employers look for. So, um, that's pretty much what I have. Um, so if you have any questions, um, feel free to ask me now. Anything about mechanical engineering in general, anything about right, like about the program, about student life. Um, you can also ask about residents. I also know a lot about the residents here at York as well. So yeah, so I'll basically open up the floor. Any questions that you guys have, you can ask them now. Okay, yeah. So scholarships from I got a question about if I apply to various scholarships through York's financial aid program, when will I hear back from them? So I guess I'll clarify. So there's basically we have a kind of York financial system where you can apply for scholarships there. Then you have a SANS thing. It's kind of hard to say because depending on how big the scholarship is, it might take a little bit longer. Um, if you apply for a scholarship now, at the very least, you will hear about them before September. Um, I think I heard about my scholarship around July, August. So it's a little bit later, I know. but you'll definitely hear from them before September. Yeah, so is mechanical, electrical, or mechatronics engineering better in terms of job availability? So again, I would say mechanical, just because of how versatile it is, right? You can kind of go into any sector you want with a mechanical engineering degree. Um, right, and we see that also trend happening now where mechanical is our most popular program, right? People want to go mechanical. It's a little more, I guess, like AI proof than some of our disciplines. So I would say mechanical has like the best in terms of job availability just because of the breadth of it. I would say mechatronics is also a good one because you get that mechanical and electrical, so you can kind of work in both. And electrical is also a really strong program, but I would say the best one in terms of job availability would be mechanical. Right. While I wait for maybe some of you to some type some more questions up, um, just kind of wanted to show you some stuff that we offer here. When you're kind of looking into York, if you're still looking into York. So we offer our weekly Sun tours, even if you're already into your offer, right? It's great to kind of look to figure out what the campus looks like, what the facilities look like. So we offer those every week, usually on Wednesdays and Fridays. We have program spotlight sessions for all of our programs coming up. We have some Ask Me Anything drop-in sessions where you can just kind of come in, ask some questions you have, stuff like that. And we also have our Lassonde community Discord. If you just have the Lassonde community Discord in Google, you can find a link to that and join that and ask us questions. All of us, all the student ambassadors for every program, as well as our admissions team is in there. So you can kind of get questions and keep in contact with us until and even after you start your program. When is schedules for semester you schedule release? So yeah, great question. Um, Basically you get your transcripts or not transcripts, sorry, your timetable right after you enroll. So it's kind of automatically generated. Your enrollment will probably start you probably already selected your enrollment or you're setting your enrollment usually May to June, July. It's kind of when enrollment happens. Once you enroll in your courses, you will get an automatic timetable of when your classes are. So what I would recommend is if you search up York Visual Schedule Builder, it allows you to kind of see the different sections of York, sorry, different sections of classes. Really, I highly recommend to use this. I didn't because I was like, oh, because in your first year, you kind of like are assigned what courses you need to do. You don't really have any electives in your first year. So I was like, oh, I'll just enter the course codes and I do that. What ended up happening is that in winter, I had 8:30 classes every single day. And I had friends who didn't because they use the visual schedule builder. So definitely use that. You can plan out your timetable on the visual schedule builder, choose what sessions work for you, what times work best for you. And then once you actually officially enroll in courses, then you will get your automatic timetable for courses. Generally, this will not change unless there's, of course, move some stuff around and there's a conflict thing. But for them, that's kind of rare. So for the most part, that would be kind of your timetable for the full fall winter year. So right after you enroll is when you'll get your timetable. That's a good question. That one I'm not sure about. I do know that for timetable, like when you enroll and you get your timetable, um, it's not always as clear just because like our timetable works on a whole like semesterly basis, not like a month by month basis. Um, So I can actually, I'll write down a note of that. Um, I'll take a note of that. If it works for block model, um, and then I can get back to you on that. If you're in Lasan Discord, um, I'd recommend like I can answer the question there. If not, um, I will try to find a way to get that back to you. But that is a good question. I actually don't know about that. The visual schedule of the lyrics. You know what? Actually, let me just try right now. Let me just stop sharing for a second. Since we have a lot of time. Okay, I can't find an answer to that right now. But I would say when you have your enrollment, you'll usually either be a person with an actual advisor, or you'll be an email away from an advisor. So I'd say definitely ask them there, but I would say it would be a little bit harder just because like the visual schedule, but again, it works kind of on a semester basis, not on a month by month basis. But I believe that the block model is also a little more um I guess rigid in terms of when they offer stuff because you're only taking one course at a time. Um, so yeah, I don't think Visual Schedule Builder will offer that. Um, but I would ask your enrollment, or you can email ask at Lassana School. Sorry, ask at lassanschool.com. I can put that in chat as well. And that's kind of our admissions team, and they can also help you with that as well. So okay, you're in the Discord as well, so that's great. So I will hopefully get an answer about that and post it in the Discord tomorrow. All right, looks like there's like no more questions. I can hang around for a few more minutes. If anyone has more questions, maybe if you're typing it up. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask, so we also have two attendees. Are either of you, typing up any questions right now? Because either I can stay, otherwise I'm probably just gonna end the webinar. Um, and then again, like if you have any questions, you can always email ask@lasonschool.com, or if you're in the Discord, just shoot the question in the channel, and a lot of us can come and answer that. All right, I'll wait a few more seconds to see if any questions pop up. Yeah, so the general question, I would say would be the 2026 community channel. If you have a question about enrollment, you can also ask in the enrollment channel as well. Um, but 2026 community would be the main one to ask it for incoming students for this year. Okay, awesome. Looks like no more questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the webinar. Thank you so much for attending. I hope you learned a lot. And again, any more questions, you can always ask us in the Discord server or email us at ask@lasonschool.com. Um, so yeah, thank you very much for your time and have a great day.